Roar, and then maybe followed up with the Reaper's Scythe. So there is some strong single target lockdown there. Single target lockdown in the Ogre Magi. You do have the AoE damage with the Death Pulse and the Heartstopper Orb, but I'm getting maybe just a little worried that they could have trouble controlling this Tide if Sadoy once again has a good game. Like, you've got Sadoy coming straight out from that last game. He played a fantastic Tide. You've got God on the same hero as well from the last game, played fantastic. VP just trying to carry that momentum here, I think, into the start of this game versus the Power Rangers.
Yeah, one thing that the Beastmaster can do is control the Ancient stacks a little bit with summons. You put the Hawk up there, he'll scout it, and oftentimes they have at the right time, and then you prevent the stack from occurring. And I think that's an important thing to consider. Beastmaster already is going to be farming a lot of stacks himself. Could actually look to steal some, perhaps, with the Wild Axes. But end of the day, it's got to be a point of emphasis here. You're right, they don't have control for Sadoy, but if they inhibit his Ancient farm, I think they can just be fine with controlling the Zeus and the Ember.
Yeah, it could work. And you were talking about skill builds for the Beastmaster in particular. What do you prefer to see for the hero?
It's tough because obviously he wants the Wild Axes to farm the Ancients, but the multiple points in Call of Wild is really where his utility brings. And this is kind of a pushing lineup, right? Because they've got the Dazzle, the Necrophos, this AoE heals and keeps Creep Wave alive. They could go for definitely at least an early point in Inner Beast. It doesn't scale the way it used to, where it was a 1-point wonder, but it is still one of those abilities that you really do want to have. So it's hard to like nitpick. I'm going to be fine with whatever he goes, but I think that a lot of people underrate the third point in Call of the Wild, where you get the extra, the better Hawk.
The pros don't seem to underrate it, but I think your average person does. I think.
Sure. But if you get that Greater Hawk, you get that vision out, you can see the ganks coming from like the Skywrath, you can really mess with the Tide, and it just causes real problems. But already on the Ancient Camp, you see that D-Ward coming out. Giada is going to take care of business, and they're going to get the 1-minute spawn.
It's nice to see PR realize, though, that they need to stop the Tide's Ancient, and that gives me hope that the Beastmaster, like you said, with the summons, will go ahead and try to shut that down even a little bit more. I prefer just going, by the time you're level 7 or 8 or whatever it works out to be, 2, 4, 1, 1 on the Beastmaster. That's, when I was studying up the hero, that's what Universe did in almost every single game. Sometimes getting Wild Axes a little level up earlier, sometimes not even more than 1 point. But let's introduce the teams. Power Rangers. We've talked enough about this man. Cheshire Cat on the Beastmaster. Middle lane, it's going to be the Phantom Assassins. Ditya Ra, the new carry, put on a show yesterday on Sven. We've got Soneko. He's going to be playing the Dazzle up here, supporting in the top lane alongside J4. We'll ignore that. Smoke wasted, unfortunately. And we've got Shocklow here on the Necrophos.
I think that a big thing about the new runes is that Beastmaster can cover them very effectively. He's a great rune controller. That's why I used to pub with him a lot in the mid lane. Actually, I think he's still my third most played hero, despite the fact that I haven't played him in 6 months, because I just used to... No, the Beastmaster.
Oh,
I used to absolutely destroy
he's mine. Hero. He's mine too. I guess that's why we're talking so much about him, because we're both really pumped to see the hero.
That and he has not been picked hardly at all. As far as a core hero in the pro scene in a decent amount of time, he's a very fringe pick. But no, I mean, he is a legit hero, and he has so much potential. Control runes with the little boar there.
Courier snipe, Soneko! No!
Oh, it's Dusky. I would give props to that play, but it's Dusky the Husky. You don't just slay Dusky the Husky and get away with it. Dazzle is on PA's contract list. I know they're on the same team, but betrayal incoming.
How dare you?
He talks.
Somebody called PETA. A cute animal was slain, and so was an ugly one. The boar.
That was the bottle, right?
Let's check it out. Yeah. I fixed that bind, by the way. It was a full speed courier too, but 2 attacks is about all it takes. Bottle down.
G likes to use his bottle.
That's gonna hurt him. Not God. Sadoy in trouble in the top lane. The Ignite goes out. I think they're going to go commit to this. I mean, they're still chasing. They got the Heartstopper Aura Ignite. He will go down. The squishiest of the divers here, taking the tower hits, but even he won't go down Nicely done here. J4 picking up that first blood in bottom lane. Maybe the same thing about to happen. The slow will land here on Cheshire Cat. They're looking for the aura. The chains are going to go off. Oh, 330 gold for BZZ. Can they find the kill, though? Trying to still chase him down. BZZ going the distance. There's no grave. There's no mana from Soneko, but this is getting a little dicey right now for BZZ. Cheshire Cat to live. Now the board doing what it does best with that poison. Slowing him down. The axe is coming through. Cheshire Cat with the kill. 2-0 right now for the Power Rangers. Really, really good for this Beastmaster. Level 4 already, and he'll actually go, 2-2 right now. You see that third point in Call of the Wild next, and then I would expect Alt and then Inner Beast at 7.
Wow, that TP from Dazzle, it may just be a level 1 Shadow Wave. It doesn't seem like a lot, just getting a little itty-bitty 80 heal, but it is what tipped everything over the edge. I mean, you look at this guy, and you see how damn tanky he is. It's got to be frustrating to go up against this, but a naturally tanky hero going for a Stout Shield and Ring of Protection to start. He's had 8 armor and a magic stick, as well as a Stout Shield. Like, this guy is not easy to bring down, giving plenty of time for Dazzle to come in and turn things about, and bringing down the Ember Spirit as their second kill on the board. Like, that's just absolutely incredible. I mean, like, obviously the kill in Sedoya was just really well manipulation of his Kraken shell. They waited for the Ignite until after the Kraken proc the first time, but man, that second kill was all about the rotation, the reaction, and a good skill shot from the Wild Axis. That was absolutely legit, and it sets back Ember Spirit substantially, as it could have been a kill the other way.
Indeed. Well, we'll check out what are the levels. Level 4 on Tiger as well, so it's just a little bit behind, but might be taking that second death. Are the TPs going to be here for Virtus.Pro to save their offlaner? Yes, they are. Can they do the repeat? This lane's got a little bit more sustain, though. Sedoya will still survive. J4
he's going to die.
They'll take the tower hits right now, and he is going to fall. They will turn it. Ogre Magi goes down. They're going to be split. But yo, he TPs and he will give up that kill. Shaklo on the Necrophos is going to be picking up that one. And, well, Zeus is doing okay. He's got his bottle back as well.
Yeah, so the big thing there is the Echo Stomp does not get woken up by towers, and generally speaking, you cannot switch the aggro of the tower when you are asleep. So, yeah, in that position, he was just stuck to take a number of shots. The rotation was absolutely perfect from the other Titan, and they get a hit point on the board. It did cost them, though. Essentially a support for a support, but it looks pretty good on the ET's resume there. He's able to make those very close call plays. Jotham's going to flank onto Cheshire Cat. They're going to get some good damage onto him. Silence will enhance the damage from this in the Zeus from over range. So they do make the rotations once again, but they're not going to be able to return anything this time around, and it is going to be Beastmaster to take his first death this game.
Well, we were talking about that bottle snipe being massive. God, though, still leading the CS in that middle lane. He's 34 and 5. Even able to get 5 denies with the not so good right click of Zeus. PA at 29 and 2. That's who's going up against in this middle lane. Obviously, the Magic Wand is complete. It's a very smart purchase there from the Phantom Assassin. The next lead farmer is the Ember Spirit. To take that one death, but BZZ just got an assist, as we saw, 34 and 11. And, yeah, all right, everyone pretty even amongst the cores. God, the only one pushing the envelope a little bit.
So, I mean, I feel like the status quo helps out PR pretty nicely here, in the sense that, like, they want the Necrophos to be able to build up in a calm and complacent laning phase. They want him to be able to get some good core items. If there's a bloodbath, then it just sets back the Necrophos so substantially. He wants to get a little bit early farm so he can survive in the team fights. Going for the double ROP build, he goes for Basilius Tranquils, and he's going to go straight for the Agams after that. Now, I have seen Point Booster, Blink, then Axe, and that has worked, and we've also seen that Bloodstone build when he goes for the Soul Ring, but I don't know if that's what he has in mind. I think it is just going to be an Ags after maybe one other item.
All right, BZZ is in trouble in the bottom lane. That's the Roar. While I talked about it maybe not being very good on Tide, it's fantastic. And killing and locking down this Ember Spirit. They don't quite have enough damage, and the Thunder God's Wrath comes out. That's going to be the start of the turnaround. They look for J4 now. Yol going to actually now back off. It's 3-3, just under 8 minutes right now.
Yeah, so one big thing there was the Dazzle was baiting charges on his magic stick. He had 7 charges, a big heal, and then he could have followed it with Shadow Wave. So he was hoping they would keep putting more damage into him, they would keep chasing, and then they would be able to turn it around against him. That Global Zeus, you can't tell, is win. Thunder is going
good for it. I think he bit off a little more than he can chew. He doesn't quite have the arsenal to bring down the Fire Shield. Actually, the Ignite will burn it down, and I guess, yeah, only 2 points in Flame Guard, so just enough. But when rank 4 Flame Guard comes out, it's going to be very difficult to bring that off of the Ember Spirit, unless, I guess, both the Ogre and the Necrophos are around.
Yeah. The Flame Guard is ridiculous in its absorption scaling. Obviously, at level 2, it can negate a lot of spells, but at level 3, like, the Death Pulses can't even go through. Like, you can't do any damage to him, in an easy sense. He did, however, go for the third point, so you can chance to double the damage it will deal, and that, of course, has its own merits, but in a more offensive sense. Anyways, the Ember Spirit lucky to sneak out there with a very low amount of HP. The Elder Titan out as well. Man, do they wish they had the Zeus on their team, but no such luck. It's 2 good Thunder God's Wrath coming out from G and none for Power Rangers, so they are still holding on pretty well in this early laning stage. Let's check the stacking status. Boar is going to be stacked. I thought he would be stacking the last bit, but it's 910 and he did not. So looking over at the Radiant side, they have been sentryed up for a decent amount of time. Now that's expired, and maybe Ty can get some stacks for himself.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see both teams doing it. I have noticed, again, watching some Beastmaster replays, that a lot of the people don't even rely on the Ancients because you'll sometimes only have the 2 points in Wild Axes for a while. And it's a pretty big time commitment when you're bringing down the Ancient stack.
Oh, yeah,
even with maxed out Wild Axes, and sometimes if the game's not going well, you can't really afford to do that as a Beastmaster, because if your team's getting decimated and you're like, what are you trying to finish? A mech? A Blink Dagger probably in this day and age? Sometimes it can go south from there.
This day and age, dude, Blink Dagger's like a TI1 item.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time.
But it's I meant just with the reduced mana cost. It's definitely helped Beastmaster, again, being a strength hero.
Definitely. And the fact that he'll have a Soul Ring on top, he won't have any mana issues at all. But that's comes to help out the Wild Axes a little bit in the farming sense, if he has the time for it. But right now, Sodoi is actually stealing some creeps right here. I'm not sure who was stacking this hard camp on the western side of the Dire Jungle, but Sodoi ain't just smashing it down with the help of the Elder Titan and a few Arc Lightnings going away. So although Chase will get his share of the experience, all the gold will be going to Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, God is nearby. He's going to try to throw on that Static Storm. Look at this. This is how to bait 101 right now. I didn't know I was going to be enrolling in a class today, but I guess we have. The smoke is up, and they're actually not going to take it. So PR, very, very nicely done. Did not get baited into that. I mean, it's a pretty hard kill on Tidehunter. It's pretty hard to bait with the Tidehunter too, because you're close to your tier 1, and you know this guy's got Ravage up. Probably go for it though. Yeah, that's going to be the slow. The TP coming in. They bring one more. That's going to be the Dazzle. That's Soneko. Meanwhile, who's jungling? PA jungling? Maybe, I don't know, were they stacked over there on the far side? On the eastern side of the Dire Jungle?
Not that I know.
No, just went in there taking out the camps. Missing some lane farm, but whatever. There's still blood on the ground, so it's not like she's been gone long.
Most definitely. Shashlo is actually picking up the Soul Ring here, so I believe he is going to be going for that Bloodstone, which has a lot of tempo advantages. The fact that you have the quicker respawn, and your enemies, of course, have the longer respawn when they're hit by your ultimate, you're always going to have more heroes to bring to fights more frequently. And, of course, it also helps stat-wise. All the attributes are very beneficial for him, and even the aspect of the death heal. If you have to, you can really help out your team in that sense, and allow the PA to be the forefront fighter. But she's going for the lifesteal build now, maybe looking for a play against Jodam. They have so much slow on him. Just with 1 point of poison touch, it already does a third of the slow, but Stifling Dagger on top is a 50% slow, so it can hurt. So Doi makes his way down bottom. He has Ravage, but he's just looking to farm a little bit here and get some experience from an empty lane.
Triple Soul Ring, the new mana boots. Everyone going for it this game. I think the time is working for the Joel's up top. That's the first Reaper Scythe of the game. We're going to see Shocklow dropping that one, and well, wanting to avenge him on the other side of the map is Virtus.Pro. BZZ coming in hot, looking for our pink player Beastmaster. Cheshire Cat though will TP and head to the top lane. Beastmaster is a hero that likes to fuel that push. Probably why we don't see him all that much at 6.82, but TP's top, and they're going to look to bring down the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for Elder Titan. He's already like 7th in net worth and 8th in experience per minute, and he just got taken out of the game for 45 seconds. Like, that is actually extremely painful for him. Fortunately, he's not the most dependent on his real build-up. After he gets to about like level, let's say 9 or 10,
Yeah.
it's pretty good as far as levels go. But the gold will always be valuable, and that's going to be something that he's sorely lacking. BCC doesn't have mana for Searing Chains, but he follows it up, and Cheshire Cat will be locked in. Tomeko has 1 point in Shallow Grave. They might be able to bail him out, but a nice slow actually knocks back slows BZZ, and it's hard to stay in touch again.
Oh, the Thunder God's Wrath is going to go out. So StarSeries looking for the Ravage. He could maybe have landed a bit over the tree line, but obviously they don't want to go that deep if they don't have to. And Astral Spirit will return, hitting for about 200 damage on the right click is the Elder Titan, but they back off. They've actually got the attention of quite a lot of creeps right now, so not looking to fight into that. Finding the deny, though.
Yeah, that's convenient, but end of the day, I don't think it's what they came to the top lane for. They were looking for something bigger, but those dazzle deals are pretty legit. I mean, he has an 8-second cooldown for 120 on multiple targets, and it kind of negated to some extent the Thunder God's Wrath. I mean, 2 Shadow Waves, that's your Zeus ultimate right there, and it's frustrating that they're not able to find the kill on a nice initiation from the Ember Spirit. He actually committed a couple of charges of his Fire Remnant there. In other case, they're still okay with farming status quo. Like late game, they can definitely fight, but it's not as clear cut. The Ember Spirit needs a lot more farm. He only has the drum phase right now. Needs to go into the Desolator or Battle Fury pretty soon. Probably the Battle Fury, since there are no other right clickers. Generally speaking, I mentioned that the ET Natural Order really goes well with Desolator, but not only is Battle Fury far more standard, but the only other physical damage they have is like the ET, Stomps, and the Anchor Smash. So not the best time in this game.
Alright, I got a question. Maybe a bit of theory crafting, maybe a bit of just you telling me I'm silly, but what do you think of some of your core heroes just getting bloodstones when you go up against the Necrophos? Like if you're able to keep those charges. Seems like high risk, but dying and having that quicker respawn would be pretty nice.
It has merits, but I would say that you could just go for like you could go for like a Linked Sphere and cause him more grief that way than anything else. Gonna have a little clash here. We'll get back to that in a second, but no Roar coming out just yet. Medallion of Courage already up on the Beastmaster, so they have the physical damage. Then the negative armor really does help. I mean, they have 3 heroes.
Remnant, hello. Let's check the vision. Ooh, sorry. Yeah, that's pretty good off vision. So they know that this is happening.
I believe so.
I switched to Radiant Vision, so they definitely are very well aware.
Unless, wait, you got to think about it. Blur does take him up.
Oh yeah, that's genius. And the Beastmaster was smoked, so
but now they see the Roche. They see the Roche.
Yeah, they see Roche moving around, and now the pings finally come out. So that would explain the absence of pings initially, and that's that change to Blur is very annoying to deal with.
Yeah, a lot of split push on the tower, though. They get some good hits there, and almost got a nice little Roche play out of it. But they're smoking up. They're ready to rumble, and they do have the blink on Tide now. Yeah, but I mean, in theory, the Bloodstone can counteract some aspects of it, but it means that the deaths are even more painful because you lose charges. So essentially, you're not only losing your life, getting the 30-second death timer, but if he finds those kills on you, you're also losing those big charges. So
you have to be rather ahead to have multiple Bloodstones on your team and 20 charges. So it seems like maybe something you do for fun, but God might still go for it. He went Force Death first this game, so it's a little different. And actually, speaking of the Bloodstone, and actually why I was, Shockglow himself on the Necrophos was going to have one.
Yeah, I think they're both going to go for it here, but I wouldn't say that it like necessarily counters Necrophos' tempo, because although it is not going to allow you to reperspect the same target twice in a row at level 16 or with Ags, it's still going to be a great ultimate, and you can just switch to a different target.
Alright, J4, level 6, hero multicast in the bottom lane. It is just on some creeps as he defends this tower. Quite a bit of life it actually does still have left. I think BZZ going to try to do something about that now. Elder Titan behind him, maybe throwing in a defensive Echo Stomp if he needs it. Taking the sort of, I guess, preferred new school build here where you do 2 more points into the Spirit and then 1 into the Natural Order. Yeah, I would say. I think he has 3 in there. So the 2-3-1 build probably will max that out, and then look to go into Natural Order. Although I have seen 4-4-2 on the Elder Titan.
Yeah, I could see it. I still think you need 1 point in the ulti, though. Just my personal
Yeah, of course.
perspective on it. But as far as setup goes, they really only have the Searing Chains to guarantee that. So it's not the easiest spell to land, and it just comes down to practice. It's going to get some more stacks out in the jungle, of course. And so far, there haven't been that many kills. It's 18 minutes in. You look at the Virtus.Pro lineup and you think, damage everywhere. Oh, he's actually taking
goes like, oh, neutrals! I'm about to get killed by them.
It works. But, yeah, no, there have been 7 kills in this 18-minute game, despite how much damage you actually see from Virtus.Pro. Now they have the ward on the high ground. The Observer ward will scout out the farming here, but even without a Battle Fury, he's actually taking care of these Ancients quite nicely, thanks to the help of the Wild Axes. No Medallion usage and no Aura, so Ditura's still kind of manning up on this one, but at least for the moment, it looks like he's not going to be contested on it.
Yeah, and while PA is farming Ancients, probably not all that efficiently, honestly. It was Ember Spirit and Elder Titan. They just took out a couple, 2-3 stacks in the jungle very, very quickly, and Ember already up to 2,400 gold, so he's got the Phase, the Poor Man Shield, the Drum of Endurance looking towards... I know you kind of like to see the Desolator first against the Elder Titan, although it never seems to happen, so probably going for the Battle Fury.
For the...
Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. I think the Battle Fury is the go-to here, because he doesn't have any other right-clickers on his team. So he will go for Battle Fury. There's the Perseverance up, and if the Earth Splitters are really good, then you also get the Cleave effect when they're all clustered together. It vacuums them together, so it's pretty legit, but otherwise it's just a nice way to farm quickly and to hold your high ground. But Lincoln Sphere might be an item that he needs to go for after like getting his crit up, or like I would say Crystallis, then Lincoln's, and then go for the Daedalus, but it really comes down to how quickly he's farming. But as you mentioned, the Pomeroy is really, really good against Ember Spirit, and I do think that somebody needs to build the Lincolns this game. Maybe the Zeus to help out the Ember.
Alright, well, only 7 kills right now. Virtus.Pro versus PowerRangers. Team's playing slightly reserved, that we saw Zeus get out of control in the last game. Not so much here, but he is still doing well. He's at 8.2k net worth, first for his team, and makes that 3rd overall. Slightly above that is Dityura, the Phantom Assassin, at 8.8. Shaklo here, 9.2 on the Necrophos.
Yep, but there's going to be tower push down bottom. It looks like the Necro wants to TP for this one. No Blink Daggers to anybody, so they might not catch him off guard. The Fire Blast will not connect, and that's what they need to have any chance of bringing him down. He just jumps around and jumps away, and he is only 1,000 gold away from that Battle Fury. So, pretty good position for him to be in. The Tide's actually going to be going for a Eul's here. So, we're talking about the Tranquil Boots not really allowing you to go for Refresher as quickly as you'd like to, because you can't obviously do the double Arcanes thing. But with the Eul Scepter, you should have a lot of damage here. Big Ravage.
Gonna hit 3. Get some Greater Boar in there as well. Beastmaster, the Ogre, Magi, they fall so quickly. There's a weave. Maybe trying to dissuade them a little bit, but Shaklo is coming in from the backside, gonna get a kill, finds the Elder Titan. Now PZZ though. Oh, the BKB from Dityura gonna have to be used to be able to physical damage to bring him down. There's the Grave as well. They're chasing over the crit, as well as the Reaper Scythe coming out.
Wow.
Big death timer there on that guy, and God going over onto the Dazzle is gonna get him, and overall I think it's 2 for 3 in favor of Virtus.Pro, but with that Reaper Scythe, yeah, it might still not be over. They're going the Death Pulse, the crits coming in. Dityura.
Oh,
there's the deny. Loses those charges off of that, well, just completed, but then got more than 8 charges off the team fight. He's down to 7 right now.
Yeah. I found it interesting though, the Dazzle's movement in that fight was actually really good. It seemed like, oh no, he's just running for his life, but what he did was draw the team away from the Ember Spirit. So the Ember got gunned down by Shachlo. It's this gigantic death timer, and all they do is chase down a Dazzle underneath this tower. So not only do Shachlo and Dityura bring down the Ember, but then they get to chase the Zeus and force the suicide. Not as great as a kill, but still pretty impactful, and now they get to go for Roach, because the Ember's still down for 20, the Ravage down for 75. The Medallion from Chester Arcade enhancing, he does not have the energies as well as the Sosasaurus helping them with this, but obviously Virtus.Pro don't want this to happen.
Yeah, if you look at just the teamfight recap, the teamfight as a whole was actually in favor of Virtus.Pro, like 750 gold and 1,000 experience. But if you look at the after effects of Zeus losing those Bloodstone charges and now Roshan maybe going the way of PR, then it's not really that good for Virtus.Pro in the grand scheme of things. And Roche, very, very low now, below 500 HP. So Doy's going in, does not have the Ravage. Can they find the steal? No, PA is going to pick that up. Zeus God has been roared. He'll get out of the business. He wants to go back in. John will be the first to fall in this exchange. Big sleight of fist, but he's going to have to zip out, activating that fire remnant to get out of dodge. They lose one, and things looking pretty good for PR right now. Even a BKB has been finished up on the Necrophos' net worth. Spiraling out of control. PAs as well, both of them 10.7 and 10.2.
Yeah. And it feels like just like 2 or 3 minutes ago they were talking about the Ember Spirit almost being to his battle fairy, like he wasn't about 1,000 going off, but the time out of the game you just get nothing, and they're actually going to go right back on him. He has to jump to a very awkward remnant position to get out of a sticky situation. He's still going to be okay, but he can't really help into the base defense now. Like the tier 2 is being absolutely decimated, and they've got this Aegis to back it up.
Yep, they just did go to the PA. The 9-second BKB charge was used there on Era, but now he's got 2 lines. Oh! Ravage already off a cooldown from the fight that happened just a little while ago. They're going to open up things by bringing down the PA's first life. Shocklow is going to use that new BKB, now blinking through Era, trying to stay alive here, hoping to get the heals from his team. Team's going to maybe back off. We don't want to die to tier 2, and Cheshire Cat's going to fall. God is here, he's doing a lot of damage. Reaper's Scythe, it's a stun, nothing more than that. Shocklow is going to go down here, and it's a PA, her 2 lives. She's taken out. The fight, though, continues. They're chasing down J4 through the river right now. This one, how nice. Activating that fire remnant. The aura's there. J4 is going to fall, and PR sustained some pretty heavy losses. At least Soneko. The Dazzle here. Sorry, guys. Going to keep you up. He'll TP out.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously a very favorable fight for Virtus.Pro, using the Ravage extremely well, while the BKB was just still slightly on cooldown for the Phantom Assassin. One thing that PR are really lacking right now is mobility in the fights. There's no blinks, there's no force on their side. They're just walking around with bloodlust movement speed, and that's just not going to cut it in these situations. Like the Necrophos, he pops his BKB, and then he doesn't want to really fully engage into the fight. If he's in Reaper-sized range for the Skywrath there, who was the only low HP target, then he's suddenly in the zone of 4 heroes getting damaged. Roar will come out, the Reaper Scythe is not going to be there, but they still will get a nice easy pick on the Elder Titan. In either case, yeah, they really want Shocklow to essentially be in the fight to get the Reaper Scythe quickly, and if necessary, even suicide to heal the PA. But in this case, he definitely needs to at least commit the ultimate, and he couldn't get in the zone to do that. So they go right back bottom. They know the Ravage is going to be on cooldown for a long time, and this is their best time. And while I saw the Sage's Mask and Voids tonight, my brain said Yule Scepter. Tide says, I'm going straight for the refresher.
I'm going
mana
for refresher with 500 mana.
He has 600 mana. He'll
gonna work out
when the item's done, but holy crap, is that not going to work? I guess it's going to be just fountain refreshing.
Yeah, like use it once, and then if you die, you still have it again for the base defense upon refresh and fountain. I mean, it's still definitely good there, right? Like, it has its merits. Obviously better if you can just end the game with a double rabbit, but here we go. That's going to reveal them, actually, even from smoke, as people were walking up the cliff to disable Ravage off cooldown in 10 seconds here. Actually a little longer than that. So Mako is going to go down that burst damage, not able to even raise his hands for the shallow grave. He'll fall into a deep grave, and now nicely done. He can still blink out of those chains, but is going to have a stun on the other side. The burst damage from the Zeus coming in. BKB is going to be thrown out. Activating the remnant to disengage. BKB is out of there.
BKB.
Yeah.
BKB is joined up. So that was your 8-second charge, now down to 7, and yeah, she's just using it entirely to just try to survive. I actually thought that he really mega crit that Ember Spirit, because the second the big number came through, the Ember Spirit vanished, but it was just him remnanting, jumping around. That was an overhyped moment by me, but nevertheless, Searing Chains come out. That was a bad position for Cheshire Cat to be. He does have a blink dagger, so he thought he could just go for the axes and then blink away, but BZZ is too quick on the trigger.
Alright, and they'll back up. It's kind of sitting on their high ground as their tier 2 takes just a little bit of damage. Some creeps get some right clicks in on it there. I think the Flame Guard actually just brought down the Hawk over here in the tree line. So it's a free, 60 gold at rank 4 for the Hawk?
They've changed it up a little bit, but it is
60
actually
or 90 or something.
a deceptive amount of money.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Some cheap change for that one. Still the PA, she hasn't really progressed recently. Like, she has been sitting around 10k net worth for some time now. 1-1-1 on KDA, CS of 146, and her BKB charges are only going down. So, I mean, that's actually kind of feels to me like she's in a worse position now than she was 5 minutes ago. It's obviously the opposite of the carry.
Alright, Tower gonna go down. BCG to get the last hit. Cheshire Cat will roar, but gets left immediately. He won't have any follow-up. Jonathan is still gonna get blown to pieces. Sadoy trying the ult. Is he gonna get it off? He will. He just lives. Now PA still with the BKB. Was not affected by that. Looks for the kill. Throws out the stifling dagger. It doesn't crit. It's not a kill. Will blink over. Bring him down anyways. But at what cost? He's surrounded by 3. He's got some backup. Soneko is one of them. Has 3 points in shallow grave, but even he's still with the burst damage. Either can't get in range or can't cast it in time. And I think he's going to give up his own life here. Maybe he buys some more time. He's probably going to throw up his grave. Like, you got to throw it now, because when Zeus sees you, you're going down very, very quickly. They're just going to wait it out. Not going to use more mana than they have to. Yol finds the double kill, 16 to 11 PR, while they were looking very, very good up to about the 21-minute mark. Suddenly, it went from a 3,000 advantage for PR, shifted 7,000 and more in favor of Virtus.Pro. They lead by 4,000 gold, 5,000 experience.
Yeah, it's just the amount of damage that Virtus.Pro can put out right now is something that PR don't have an answer for. The Death Pulse, people look at as a heal, but it's a really, really crappy heal. Every 5 seconds, he can heal people with a projectile for 130. The Shadow Wave is significantly better at 140 per 6 seconds, but you can obviously get it instantaneously, but it's just not cutting it against all the damage that you get here. Zeus hitting level 16 really tipped the scales. They have the natural order, which amplifies that, and the ancient seal in some circumstances as well. So they can really just obliterate a couple of targets that aren't BKB'd up. And as we've been mentioning, the BKBs are not lasting as long as they used to. So what items that temporarily gave them a lot of survivability in the team fights are now doing less and less. And obviously the Zeus is getting bigger and bigger, pulling up the Dagon 2 plus the Thunder God's Wrath level 3. And obviously the amplification I already mentioned. So, I mean, these heroes just die too quickly, and Dazzle is nowhere near the mechanism.
What does he have? He does have the urn. Okay, that's what I wanted to see when I go clicked on him, and he does have an urn. Very good these days. Is there an urn over on the side of Virtus.Pro right now?
I don't think they need one. I mean, they're not really like venturing in for extended pushing. They're just kind of in their base, then winning a fight, then in their base, and then winning a fight. Speaking of, Shachlo in a bit of a bad spot here. And it is going to be Yol to come in with the Yules, but not able to get him before the blink comes out.
I think that ultimate, while a little before the 8-minute mark of where we find out what the random time of Roche is going to be, was maybe just to scout for the Roche. If anything, I mean, nothing was happening, so it looked like it was just an intel ultimate from the Zeus. And found out where everyone was. They saw that Shachlo was alone, went to go harass him a little bit, but after all, he is still a Necrophobe with a Blink, which he does have now. Blink, Bloodstone, BKB, a little out of the ordinary from the normal builds. Wants to be looking towards probably the Ag Scepter to at least disable those buybacks.
Yeah, Ag Scepter is really strong, so I think that's probably going to be his next point of progression. I mean, you could opt for a little bit more HP. I've seen Heart and Atos do wonders in the hero, but I just don't know if it's going to be sufficient. They're actually going to be maybe going on him pretty soon. They have the ET and the Tide, and it's perfectly worth it to just pop one ultimate, either the Earth Splitter or the Ravage here, to try to bring him down. Yule will find him out. There's the Yule, cancel the blink, and here we go.
What a pop to that item. They don't got anything for that, though. BKB, TP out.
BKB is insane. Like, that's almost worth a kill. Like, he had a 9-second BKB, now down to 8 seconds, and you're about to have a refresher on Tide. That I would say that it's as good as killing him without him using the BKB.
Yeah. Might be able to at least come top to defend the push, but I don't even know if they're going to worry about it. They are sensing. They didn't have the sense. They actually know. Actually, where does he go down? Bottom rune. That's a quick crit. Did your Rob brings him down. Valkyrie's there. And 2,000 gold just about. So looking to progress quickly to, I guess, the Abyssal Blade. Look, more lockdown for the Ember Spirit. Also potentially the Zeus.
Yeah, and that's
there
where
it
I think
is. Refresher, 31 minutes. Only on a 650 mana pool, though. Probably won't see a double Ravage.
I was looking at the combat log here. Did the Stifling Dagger crit the Scarlet for 405? That's like almost half his health. He only has 910. So
that's why I didn't
quick
see it. It was too fast, too furious.
Yeah, I mean, essentially your first auto attack hits like milliseconds after the Stifling Dagger does, and then 2 quick autos later. Goodbye, Mr. Sky. But yeah, that's refresher. I'm doing the math. There is absolutely no way he gets it off twice in a fight with his current items, but it's still very valuable for just enhancing the time on your cooldowns.
Yeah, you don't like to not do math. I just try to be at 1,000 mana.
Yeah,
that's about what
definitely
it is.
some work.
And is this the particle effect here off the set for the Necrophobe? It's pretty cool.
I think it's whenever he has Sadist, but I'm not positive.
From the set or just always?
From the set, as far as I know.
That's kind of cool. Turning him into like Terrorblade, I guess, with the footprints. Which I'm very glad reported over.
No, it's just standard. It's part of the set and has a little trail pestilence there constantly.
Nice. Well, spreading death wherever he goes. He's, 9, I guess, is how many kills he's been involved in. Would like to get involved in a little bit more, as let's go ahead and see what we're dealing with. Virtus.Pro moving in towards the bottom lane, the tier 1 tower here. Generally a tower that falls very early, but this doesn't line up on the side of Virtus.Pro with honestly no push. Here we go. The right click. Shackle going to BKB up. So Doy's got the tree line, cannot do anything about this. Both BKBs are going to jump on the Reaper site. He's down for 100. Earth Splitter will go out, ends about there. And nothing happens. They'll throw out the chains from across the unpassable terrain. BZZ, one spirit, and now the further one into the tree line. But they're chasing him down. The roar's going to be there. Unfortunately, all those fire spirits will destroy the trees, and they're going to find him out no problem.
Yeah, just let him right to him. Unfortunately, you can't. It's the problem with being a fire elemental juking through the forest. You tend to burn a few trees.
Timbersaul's happy though.
Yeah, he do. He just, it'd be funny if, like, just a random game, he just has, like, he sees enough trees, even if he's not in the game, that enough trees die, that he just, like, calls over the mountains, good job! Like, chop, 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 chop. Yeah, that guy's crazy. Anyways, the Discipline Blade will come out here. No Lincoln Spears that I see. No, Zeus, I really think that instead of ranking the dig on Zeus, should pick up a Lincoln, either for himself or for the Ender Spirit.
Yeah, and we'll see another Roshan attempt here. The slam going out. I'm glad that buff looks cool. Roshan was kind of... he's big, he looks kind of scary, but anything that he did was kind of dinky looking, you know? Like, he wasn't that impressive, but with some of the visual updates, it's a little cooler. I could go for some more, though.
Yeah. So despite, generally speaking, being at a teamfight disadvantage this game, PowerRangers have gotten both Roshans, and that's actually a pretty big deal. It's about the time of that timing, when you get the fight, when you get somebody off, and you pick off that you're robbed barely.
Look at that damage. That wasn't even a Thunder God's Wrath either. It was just a lightning bolt with an ancient seal and an arcane bolt.
And Dagon, yeah.
Too many bolts, man. Alright, refresher there. So the way we saw him, not able to even get off one Ravage in the last fight. We know it's an impossibility that he gets off two. Maybe with mana boots of allies, of which there are 0, so that's not going to help. So just the 12 block charges, he can max that out at 15. And he gets kind of close, we'll see. But obviously a target that PR is focusing so that he cannot unleash that Ravage. However, God, once again, he went for the 4-step first this game, so that's a little different. Bloodstone is up to 18 charges, which is utterly insane. Even with the Necrophos killing with the Reaper Scythe, he's going to respawn pretty quickly. And, well, like 32, 34 seconds, right? Would it be his respawn right now?
For
Zeus, if he dies with 18 charges at level.
He has 4 second. He has a 4 second respawn. Yeah.
Yeah, plus 30 if he dies to Reapers. So
exactly.
34 seconds, not even that bad. Still less than the standard. 8 charges for Necrophos. We can look. We saw that Bloodstone come out first, and he's 10 charges behind. Still on default.
Yep. But, you know, it's had his ups and downs recently. He's had some ups. He's feeling a little bit better about himself than he was about 5 minutes ago. One thing I want to note is that Sadoy picked up a no talisman. I believe that means he's going to have a Veil for the team, which is just awesome. It's going to give him the mana he needs to actually perhaps go for that double ultimate play, and it is also going to make their damage absolutely absurd. Natural Order, Ancient Seal, and Veil on somebody, like, Zeus can just kill anybody. Hurt. He could do like 2,000 damage at least. But speaking of damage, it's so hard to see here coming just because how fast Skyrat dies. He has a 4-staff, but otherwise he really doesn't have anything he can do to respond to the situation. If they have vision, which they did on this Observer ward, they'll be able to jump you.
Poor Jotov. He didn't see it coming either. It is nighttime right now. He just gets utterly obliterated. And so quickly too. 18.2 cage net worth on Zeus. We saw him go for the Dagon. I feel a little crazy, but it is a crap load of damage. We already talked about how the BKBs are dwindling already at 5 seconds, and truly that is your answer to this PA. Just blow her up, and they're not going to have a problem doing it. after those 5 seconds are up, or even if Tide starts off this initiation, the Tranquils will drop. Something I mentioned yesterday when we saw the Tranquils with the refresher, like, if you get those Tranquils first, you probably have to sell them and then buy mana boots later. They no longer disassemble, so there's whatever gold efficiency lost. I think it's probably still worth it. The Tranquils are very nice for the laning stages of the game. And the null tally, while I think you're right, for the time being, it looks like it was just for some extra stats into that mana pool.
At least for now, Hurricane Boots will guarantee it, but now we're talking Dagon 5 up for Zeus here. If you're going to go for Dagon 3, you have a major incentive just to go for Dagon 4 and 5. Dagon 5 is absurdly expensive. Like, it costs way more than a Divine Rapier, and it, honestly, when you look at, generally speaking, the cost per damage of a single usage of Dagon, it's pretty shitty to go all the way to Dagon 5, but the cooldown gets so low that you usually get to use it twice in a fight if you play it right. And you can do that to clear out illusion. Oh, goodbye, Jotum. And Invisible Demonstrated will be like, sorry, man, ninjas.
Like,
but yeah.
I'm very happy that I've caught the last 2 Skywrath deaths.
Nice.
Good work.
Camera work OP. But,
it is. It's a lot harder when you are casting the game, you know? Like, being the directed observer, like, that was a lot easier for you, right? Like, being
it's very different.
Attention.
Yeah, I mean, I felt, it's definitely my main focus. Like, I was really try hard about it, so I got to pretty much catch everything. I could count on, like, one hand how many kills I missed throughout the entire event, so that's a good sign.
Turns out Blaze has a hand with 100 fingers.
It's like, yeah, somebody goes back and, like, looks at each game that it's off. It's like, man, that's a 12-fingered hand. What's wrong with you? But, yeah, so the one thing I was going to talk about was, the Dagon 5 being a very short cooldown, very spammable. You can kind of start a fight with it, and you can end a fight with it, and that's going to be really good if G lasts that long. But if he's their point of focus, if he gets hit by an Abyssal, this guy still only has 7 armor. As far as other heroes that are force snaps, you've got Jotum, and of course you've got the potential of Tide and ET to help bail him out. But generally speaking, I feel like he is a bit of a liability here if he gets locked down, and that's where the Ghost Scepter comes in. He's going to turn that into an E-Blade, I'm pretty sure, but at least for the moment, it's actually really good survivability utility since they don't have a Purge.
Alright, Roche is going to be back up in about 3 minutes. We'll see if PR... They took the first one when they were kind of ahead, or turning the tides, rather. And then they took the second one when they were starting to fall behind. Can they find the third? It would be very big for them. And I like this. Elder Titan. I mean, it's a hero that when he drops and returns the Spirit can return a lot of damage. He's going for the Yasha. He's got tons of move speed with the Yules and the Yasha and the Tranquils when they're not broken. He's got to go fast, try to deal some damage. Maybe we even see him go for a BKB, trying to become that right clicker that we see somewhat rarely on Elder Titans.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be important to make sure there's some kind of nice scouting ultimate just to make sure of what's what, they see who is where. The ET Spirit also helping in that regard. But yeah, the big thing about the Yasha is allowing you to set up more stomps. The stomp is such a critical ability in the mid to late game, and being able to have your Spirit move that much more rapidly to be able to connect with those stomps is a really big deal. Beyond that, you're actually in a really bad spot here. Could be jumped on. He does have BKB at 5 seconds. Might be enough to bail him out, but let's see.
Oh my gosh, he's going to go to be aggressive here on a BZZ. The Abyssal Blade, the stun time is not long enough. He doesn't get the crits that he's looking for right there, unfortunately. And the TPs come up. That'll force everyone up in the top lane for the PowerRangers. Virtus.Pro also has all the members here. Who's orange? Yol is the only one a little bit behind. Maybe they see a ward from the Dire with those lightning bolts. They're pinging it out. Yol's like, please! I know you want to kill people, but come, dag on this ward. Or they don't know about it, and they're just standing on it. The pings were like right on the ward, so I thought Yol knew, but he's actually saying, I think, gather for smoke here, which would be maybe awkward smoke of the week, if not more than that. So PR actually, a bit of a blessing, going to find a little bit of space and should be able to dodge the smoking. But I don't know, man. Standing right here by the mid tier 2 might not be enough. It's going to break. Tidehunter is the first one to be seen. Oh, he's going for one. Can they bring him down? We get one Ravage off. Is that going to be enough? The 2 BKBs dodged it. It didn't hit the other 3 on the back line. Yol thrown out to sleep. Will miss on everybody. Cheshire Cat blows up that Ember Spirit. No problem. Shock Logan and continue to chase. They use the Reaper Sight. There's no buyback on the Tide right now. So with these next 80 seconds, PR might be able to get a bit out of this. The team fight isn't quite over right now. They're still looking for Yol, and will he be able to TP out? He will.
Okay.
No ultimates, both used. So single target ult.
Over mid, G going for the lasers, brings down J4, takes a little bit of damage, but it's going to be a 4-step TP from Skywrath, and they both walk away for now. The Ghost Scepter against the Diggerrat can't connect with any potential dashes, and they just go in for the tower. They've got a long time without the Ember and the Tide. This is free reign for them in the map, as long as they watch out for that Dagon.
Who needs lasers when you've got magic? Says Zeus to the Tinker, who hopefully we'll never see again in Dota ever. But teamfight recap, that one, it was 1-4-2. They really only got the Ogre out of that. Man, that's crazy. Big kills.
Yeah, that was a
respawning at 30 right now. It was about 3,000 experience, about a 1,600 gold net worth change.
So they really want to focus on G. They want to jump in with the Abyssal Blade. They know they can do it pretty soon. They just need Phantom Strike range. But, yeah, the follow-up would be there if Beastmaster had mana. Do they have any Arcane Boots for him? Soneko in 13.
Alright, they'll back off. Not feeling quite confident enough to push. They know that there will be another. Let's see if Tide refreshes this, actually. I'm curious.
I don't think so.
Nah, we'll 50 seconds to wait. They can probably...
Now that he has the Arcane Boots anyway.
Maybe if they want to contest this Roche, he might do it, because PR, I think they're going to go for it within that 50-second cooldown time window. They've scattered it out with the Hill Troll. Doing due diligence.
Yeah, stacking it up, man. Any range creep will do. But I don't know if they really want to fight Roche this second. The Ogre's still pretty low level, could really use at least one more level to get his Bloodlust maxed out. The ET on the Radiant side in particular is really good at fighting Roche with the Earth Splitter, which has now just been put up to rank 2. And it just seems like a dangerous proposition. Like, their other fight was so much better because they were the ones that had intel that VP didn't. Virtus.Pro thought they were finding a pickoff. They were just going in, we smoke up, we look for an opportunity. The Radiant was a immediate Beastmaster Roar and Abyssal Blade, taking heroes out of the fight. The Reaper Scythe comes down right after the Ravage, and they're in disarray from that point forward. I mean, BZZ got gunned down immediately after the fact. So it really was a matter of the knowledge that one team had and one team didn't. With this Roshan, it's on equal footing, and they don't want to risk that. PR actually might be gone on by the smoke, and this deceit could be very painful if they didn't fall back here.
Yeah, I thought they were going to go straight into the Roche bit, but they just sort of took that path. We need to find Sadoy. We got to go on Sadoy Cam. He's the one. His initiation has got to do good things here.
Good work.
Just jump in. There's the ultimate for the Vision. The double ult. They want to bring down the PA, and they will. Both of those heroes with buyback. It's a pretty big investment with the double Ravage, but it might be all they need to take out these last two Tier 2. PR probably not going to force buybacks to defend their Tier 2, so I think with that Virtus.Pro, going to take quite a bit off of the map.
Knowledge is power, man. The intel provided by that Observer Ward when they went in for the smoke play, that just turns everything their way. Obviously, they do have to wait for the refresher cooldown, but it's a free rush. I mean, they're not going to buy back for this Roshan because what do you get out of the rush? You get the Aegis, you get the cheese. They're going for it, though.
Well, I would have agreed with you. I didn't think they were going to quite buy back for it, but feeling that it is extremely important. Yeah, and if Virtus.Pro now back off and then even go in and potentially win. I suppose one reason for the buybacks is that double Ravage is down, so PR feels like they can bully their way into the pit.
They have to, because essentially what they just did was they traded 2 of their lives for Aegis and Cheese, which are essentially 2 lives, but they take up item slots that are becoming more and more sparing. They need to take more than just Roche. They need Roche, for sure, but they also need one thing on top of that, at least a tier 2 tower or something. It really puts more pressure on them to get things done. And the reason that I don't like it beyond that, I mean, like, life for life, it seems equal. But if they lose a fight, there's 2 heroes that cannot buy back for 6 whole minutes.
It's like a
and the Tide is certainly going to be able to
Necrophos.
double ulti within that time.
3 Necrophos for Virtus.Pro, essentially.
Okay, so get your out with the double damage, taking care of Roche pretty easy, bashing it, getting the Bloodlust on, but end of the day, they're going in for the Earth Splitter.
Wow, this could be a big Earth Splitter. Oh, it actually just is a little bit short. I think... kept alive. There's a Reaper Scythe going down. The God does not do a lot of damage. He's got 20 Bloodstone charges. He'll just suicide immediately.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to give up anything. He's really far ahead at 24,000 net worth.
Yeah, now they don't have the Scythe for the next big play. I think that... I mean, they still have the timing where they know that the refresher's not going to be up for about another minute, so they can push the tier 2. But as far as breaking high ground with the Aegis, it's a dangerous proposition. You only have BKB for one of your lives. The Ember Spirit is so damn good at holding high ground with this Battle Fury. I kind of feel like they all in with those buybacks, and they are under a lot of pressure right now to get things done. But the Scythe in 30 seconds, I think, is what I have to wait for.
Yeah, well, sometimes when you're under pressure, you rise to the occasion, and the other times, you crack beneath it. You know, we'll see what happens here with PR. I mean, they've made it worth it a little bit with actually being able to force out bullying and grabbing the motion. They'll bring down a tier 2. Both of those were mentioned on the list of things to do to make this worth it. It's a big investment. There's one more tier tower to get up here, and well, actually now they do have even a tower advantage. We'll look at the graphs, maybe to get some more context on everything. Virtus.Pro still ahead, over 5,000 gold. Experience, though, after the last couple engagements, PR leading slightly. Graphs, I think, at this point in the game, not the important thing. 50 minutes in, that close, doesn't matter. It's all about the Necrophos disabling the buybacks and whether or not this PA and who was it? It was PA and Ogre that were the 2 buybacks. Yeah, so if they died, you know they're going to have a really long respawn time. And up top, boom! That's a daggone to the face.
He doesn't obviously get to use the cheese. I think he's just holding it anyways. But yeah, it's gonna be tough to hold the high ground in these kinds of positions because Virtus.Pro are knowing that there is a very significant weak point in PR's lineup right now. A big gap in their armor as the PA does not have buyback for 4. She does have the Aegis for about 3 minutes, yeah, but there's going to be a timing window where she is just extremely vulnerable, and they could capitalize on that in full. Or they can just feel safe in the fact that PR aren't going to be 5-manning up to their tier 3 into Ravage without buybacks. There's a big difference between having a second life in Aegis and having a second life in a buyback, and that's because of respawning in the fight or respawning out. Sometimes one is better, but in this case, because of the Ravages, I would definitely say that the buyback is a lot better than the Aegis.
This hill troll, dude. He's been around to see some shit.
He really does. Throw some bloodlust on him, just gonna make him a little antsy for the fight. I don't know, but we'll see. Right now, it is gonna be the Agnum Scepter up with the Beastmaster buying out for it. Huge pickup.
I think BZZ just pinged it out because he saw it, but he wants to get his nice juicy creep wave instead. That hurts, man. They're ignoring this hill troll. I wanted to see the hill troll. BZZ goes down. That's actually a pretty good way to deal with them. Like jumping in and with the crits even, and now with that Abyssal Blade is even better. They're looking for Cheshire Cat up in the top lane. They're not going to find it.
I like that initiation attempt though. What they did was they Thunder God's Wrath and then shift to the jump on the BOTs immediately, trying to stop the Blink Dagger of Beastmaster. If that's on cooldown, then the Skywrath theoretically gets the damage to put the Blink Dagger on cooldown again, and Zeus gets the kill. But there was a sliver of timing where he could disjoint the concussive and do the dodge logo, maybe not.
Number 1, the Refresher. Ravage number 2. There is the Grave though on the Shackle. Going to try to keep him up a little while longer. Will he use the Bloodstone charges? No, he's going to BKB up. He's going to go. He's going to try to live. Ember Spirit down for 100. Tidehunter will buy back. And now, beyond godlike here, on the god-like character, it's Zeus. What can he do? He's immortal now. He's trying to stop this push. They're jumping in with the Abyssal Blades. And there's one life of the PA. Reaper Scythe coming out. It's not going to quite get the kill. The buyback is there. He is only down for 32 seconds anyways. Another Shallow Grave going out from the dazzle. The buyback is here. Necrophos super low. Going to go out also. They're down 30. Dies has 10 charges in the bank. They'll find the kills here to clean up on the support. Now they're looking for Cheshire Cat. They can bring him down again without a problem. It's a double kill. With again another Dagon Blade combination there coming out from the Zeus. 24-25, and well, minimal structural damage in tier 3 tower is what falls. Melee will regen.
So this time Virtus.Pro were the ones that were forced to buy back heavily here. We have a Skywrath, Ember, Zeus, and Tide all buying back for that fight, using both of their Ravages.
6 people on cooldown right now.
Just holding it, but I actually think that PowerRangers are in a really good position for late game now because we've obviously seen what the PA can do to the Ember alone in the dark, but this is just, it's very difficult to deal with now. I mean, the 5-second BKBs are still a hindrance against Sudoi, and I think that there's a lot of potential for him to still kind of carry this game on his shoulders with the double Ravage, but as it is, those 4 buybacks are going to be weighing on them heavily at this point. I mean, you'll see the gold graph dip so big because that net worth shows how much gold they expended with buybacks, not just how much gold was earned by PR.
All right, man. I dip, you dip, we dip. That's what the graphics are doing right now. 2,500 in favor of PR for the first time in a long time, since about the 20-minute mark there. That 1 kill advantage over to PR. Not a single person in the game with buyback right now. I think just for 10 more seconds. 6 of them on a cooldown. PA's coming up first, I think, at the 9-second right there. And a little bit short on gold for the other 3. That is the Necrophos that could get some farm in, the Dazzle, and the Beastmaster. And there you go, turning green. PA with that buyback there. Going to smoke off of that. Looking for the Blink Strike. Abyssal Blade once again. Going to look for BZZ. He doesn't know it. Well, actually, maybe he does. There was an ultimate beforehand. That ward is there, but they were...
No, they didn't see the smoke.
Yeah,
but
they were smoked.
Where they were right before that, and John's
doesn't even matter. They'll find out one supports. Obviously, farming across the river at this point of the game without buyback, like, you're just leaving as soon as the group dies. Even that was pretty risky for him to be there.
Some big items on the verge here. The Liquid Sphere is coming out for the Elder Titan now. It's coming out on the courier, so they'll have in a few seconds here. And the MKB is only 1,100 gold away for BZZ. If they get those two items up, I think they're in a really good spot in the game. But right now, PR have control of the map, and they're suppressing the farm with the Ember.
Lincoln Sphere. There's an item we like to see.
Yeah,
just about every
keep
game.
Building one as well. Could go for Hex.
Gonna really help mitigate the effects of the Abyssal Blade. You see Yol buying it, not for himself, but just to put it continuously on top of this Ember Spirit. He is pretty much their hope right now. The Ember Spirit and the Zeus, Fire and Lightning teaming up here.
Yep, Shashalo has a refresher orb, stashes the cheese for somebody else to pick up. And yeah, this is going to be the Hyper Lake Game Necrophos. I mean, I don't think you get much bigger than this. There are other items you can go for. We've seen Shiva's Heart. There's one more in mind, but I forget. Oh, Hex. Shiva's Heart and Hex all work out for the hero pretty well. But for this game, I love that. I love that sound effect.
It's pretty like, what? Like, the first time I heard it, I was like, what? I didn't get it, but it's my favorite thing in the world.
So, yeah, I think the Necrophos is pretty much at his peak right now once he finishes his buyback gold search. PA is the only one with buyback right now. But honestly, Virtus.Pro banking for buyback isn't as important because now you're up against double Scythe with Aghanim. So you can't buy out no matter how much gold you have if you die to the Scythe. And even that Liquid Sphere might be insufficient to block it out if they're good at manipulating their small items there. They've got no Force Staff at all. Okay, so no Force Staff. They have literally nothing to pop the Lincoln's item-wise, huh? They have an Abyssal Blade, which you don't want. You want that to connect.
Yeah, that's definitely not the one.
So,
I mean, just the abilities from J4.
Yeah, Dazzle and Ogre can obviously pop it with small spells, but no items to make it really quick.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was hoping that... oh, I thought he sold the cheese. It looks like he just dropped it and gave it over to the Ogre. Yeah, that's what it was.
And since he doesn't have like a soul ring or anything, he needs the cheese for the unrefined spam.
I was hoping for a refresher cheese play, because those of you that don't know, it does have a 40-second cooldown.
Oh, getting double cheese? Well,
yeah.
it's still possible. But
although I don't think they stack if they're both from different people, so... Right?
It's not possessed by anybody, so you just give it...
It has Cheshire Cat's name on it, because he picked it up first.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't think they stack if they're... But if Cheshire Cat gets the other one, he stacks them. I don't know, that's a weird mechanic that doesn't...
I haven't done that on my cheese stack.
Oh, we'll get there. Come on, Blaze, what are you, rusty? Not doing your research? That's why Dota's a fun game, right? Like, there's so many random things that, like, you never think you're gonna have to know, and then one game you have to know it, and then you're just like, well...
Some people hate that fact about the game, but...
Yeah, I love it. It's hilarious.
Alright, so we've got the Veil of Discord up on Sardoy, looking to bring in the big initiation. We've got the MKB up on Ember Spirit. He's got a Lincoln Sphere on top. He is looking fine to survive, assuming the Ogre doesn't get in position to Fire Blast that Lincoln's off, or the Poison Touch. Neither has Blink, neither has Force, so I think he's safe to at least block off a single Reapers or a single Abyssal Blade. But you never know. Diggerod going for the solo Roach Blade. This is actually pretty huge. You get the cheese, you get the Aegis, and you're a pretty happy camper. So we're going to see Aegis go to Diggerod. Cheese is still sitting in the pit. And 5-second roll.
Roar, who's it going to be on? It's actually on Stoy. Can they find him? The Reaper Sight is there. That means no buyback for over 2 minutes. They're going to find John as well. Not a surprise. He's gone down quite a few times. The death balls to connect. The right click is there. The aura as well. Shackler finds the double kill. 60 seconds on John and that full 2 minutes and no buyback between either of them. The only buyback right now on Virtus.Pro is this Ember Spirit, and with that refreshed immediately, the Reaper Sight, they're looking for a big game-winning kill.
Yeah, they just left the cheese in the pit. Corey's going to pick it up, but that's not mattering right now because this could very well be the end of the game here. It's going to take a miracle for Virtus.Pro to actually do this without the tide. He's down for so damn long, and there's no tier 3 on bottom.
Yeah, that was exposed a little while ago. The range racks there. The Fortify going to go out for the jump through. Gotta activate that Satanic. His BK beat up. Does not get the HP back. I guess he's got 2 lives. Maybe we overreact a little bit. The Roar onto Joel. Keeping him down there behind the Tree of Life. God is going to try to force that back to the base. And the Reaper Sight on BB. That is the game.
Yeah, they're going to take all the racks here. Ember can clear out creep wave after creep wave, but not when he's dead for 100 full seconds. Diggerov destroying this. He's got Bloodlust, Satanic, Abyssal AC, BKB, Aegis, and the Power Tricks. The greatest item of
Gotta get the Power Tricks. Do nothing without the power of Tricks. Nice ultimate though. There's 1 life. God trying to do what he can, and PowerRangers maybe bite off too much, trying to go straight for the tier 4. So like,
he can get buyback fully, right? He can still jump back into this. He has enough gold for buyback BOTs. He has speed now. They can't force him out of the base now. This is going to be the end of the game here in just a minute. And G getting crit down. Oh, the damage. Even with the Bloodstone, he buys back. It's the last stand, but they have no time. So for 15 seconds, Necrophos. How good is this hero?
Pretty good. I wish we had the stats, man. I know we were talking about Omni Knight, who's a hero that's coming into the games, and we don't see him all that often, but has a great competitive win rate. I feel like Necrophos must also be sporting a really good competitive win rate.
Oh, go in. G wants something. He had to link it this time around because Ember's down, but Joshua dodges the stomp with the BKB, and yeah, they just can't focus him. He has a Reaper Scythe up right now if they want to re-engage, but if they walk away, that's still 2 lanes of racks they just won. Virtus.Pro will not be tapping out until they are all in the grave here, but I feel it's almost only a matter of time unless Sadoy is just magnificent on this side.
Yeah, it definitely does have the potential to go for the big double Ravage, and most of the time it's been mitigated somewhat by BKBs being used up before the blink-in, and also by people having multiple lives. Every single Roshan this game has gone to PR, VP. They watched this demo. They're probably thinking to themselves, maybe we needed to control that Roche a little bit better or go for it earlier, but they don't really have a lineup that facilitates the killing of Roche.
Yeah, I was thinking this PA, is she going back for a Battle Fury just because she can, to farm waves while she's not fighting and kind of go for that 7-slot Dota? Nope. You're going Refresher Orb, and you're looking for the double Abyssal Blade. It's kind of the nail in the coffin if you get that second blade off.
And you know what, a hero. You're a hero from skills. You've got a free Daedalus, you've got a free Blink Dagger, and you've got a free Butterfly. And now you can refresh a 2-second stun, so pretty
You got all
good.
these passive effects, and I get these active items. A double BKB, a double Satanic. I actually thought that Satanic cost mana at one point, but it does not now, so we're going in on Joshua getting bursted hard, but Diggerov is already in the front line and can refresh at any moment.
And also Doyle has got to wait for these BKBs, because otherwise, what's the point of the Ravage? Meanwhile, he gets Reaper Sight down. And again, no buyback. He was the target. There's the refreshers coming out. That was actually the PAs going there, and it was a big agility hero, but it brings down Yol. 100 seconds and no buyback for the time. You probably won't even see the sunlight again as he's down there in the depths, hanging out with Starladder right now.
So, I mean, Dityoraj just makes it look easy. He throws the Cyclone Dagger right underneath the target, takes that off, and yeah, he's gonna go in to finish up. Oh, the long range right click, but the Ghost not gonna keep him alive. Oh, he goes down, and Dityoraj back up to full HP with that Satanic usage. Boom goes the dynamite. Dityoraj, Dota, finding his wins here. 35,000 net worth behind the Necrophos at 32k. Man, what a hell of a game. This looks really bleak for a very long period of time. Virtus.Pro were in the driver's seat, but PR making aggressive plays with a couple of buybacks, and it actually works really well for them. They not only deny the Roche from Virtus.Pro, they take it for themselves, and then they force a quadruple buyback. stopping Virtus.Pro in their tracks. Some amazing team fights, some really good pickoffs. I mean, PA just found random picks on Sky and Ember all game long, and it really adds up. The fact that he got 17